Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you are watching this video, that means that I successfully made it the night before leaving to nationals and I'm on a plane. I wanted to get all my training in from last week in this video, and then the weekend was kind of busy, and then my work day, Monday, was kind of busy, so this is super last minute. As of making this video, I'm leaving in 12 hours to fly to Atlanta. I'm also on day 2 of my water load, which means having to go to the bathroom every half an hour. I don't really record very much footage at home just because the lighting isn't great and we really don't have much space in the living room anymore. One of our current goals is to eventually move out of the living room gym on the 3rd floor and maybe find a place with a garage. But until then, at least until this prep is over, we're focusing on the lifting. Speaking of the lifting, I think the sets that I just posted are some of the heaviest lifts that I've done in the living room gym. I do feel like the setup at the gym that we go to right now, I'm benching on an ER rack because this TSS rack's bench is kind of low, and so it really limits leg drive. I don't really know what the bench that I'll be competing on feels like, so it doesn't hurt to have a bench that I'm training on that doesn't match my competition bench, because you honestly never know at any level what the competition bench will be like unless you're competing at your home gym. But I have found a way to set up in my home gym and also at the gym that we go to in Campbell called Central Strength that is comfortable. So that's been good so far, because the previous preps I was training on the TSS rack and I just could never find a good setup. This is my last Sunday squat day of this prep, and the pauses and the tempos are all PRs. I think all of my rep PRs happened this last week. And that's the thing with this prep that's been kind of different. I haven't hit any crazy singles. I've PR'd some triples and some doubles, but I'm really not sure how my singles are right now. And I think this approach is kind of good because it doesn't let me get in my head too much if I fail a single, but it also kind of leaves me wondering where my single top end is for all 3 lifts. This is a bench triple from the side view. I think it looks kind of uglier from the side than from behind, but it was a way for me to take a look at my bar path and see how that looks. This is my last heavy pause sumo day, and the volume has come down a lot. So sets of 3 seems like kind of easier to me than like lighter weight, but a lot more reps for these pauses. My hands really do get tired. I have been trying to figure out how to best handle my sweaty palm situation so far. I really like the spider chalk, but I have found that no chalk is sweat resistant. So after my first set of these, which I kind of lost grip on my last rep, I just decided to chalk between every rep just to be safe. And since I do full resets anyway, it's just like a slightly longer reset. I'm like a little bit needing some more time to find my balance, but it's still better than potentially hurting myself because my grip is slipping and I'm still trying to finish the rep. This is a triple PR of 175 for 3, and a few weeks ago when I was doing the 170 for 3 and the 172 for 3, I don't think my sweaty hands were as much of an issue, but as soon as it got a little bit warmer, my hands started to just get a lot more sweaty. And so I have found that the Ghost Grip chalk from Spider Chalk has really tiny little crystals, which I saw on one of their posts, and there's a strong woman who actually uses it not for the invisibility, but actually for her sweaty hands. And so I'm gonna try that going forward. That was like a minute, huh? No. This is a PR triple for squats for me. I think this is what we will open with. So it's 145 kilos for 3, and it was not as hard as I thought it would be. So for this day, I do back down sets of 5, and those are actually a lot more tiring than the heavy triples. I think this is my last set of 5s and the last heavy regular comp squats for this whole prep. So this was 137.5 kilos for 5, and I just wanted to take some time to talk not just about lifting but about this whole prep. I have been thinking about how I'm really lucky to have found a sport to compete in as an adult. Seeing my name on the roster for nationals and my IPF age, I think they call it, was kind of jarring because each year as I get older, I realize that, one day you will probably hit your last PR, and most of the time people kind of get weaker as they age. It is a harsh reality, but that's why they have a master's division. And so even though I'm like 10 years older than a lot of the girls that I'm competing against, I think as long as I'm having fun and making progress, it's still worth it to me.
No, but it's getting harder every week.
Going into this nationals is kind of strange because there aren't that many other meets for us to do in the PLA side, because the federation is kind of new, and once you compete in it, you kind of have to stick with it or else you get that suspension. Since I have no real shot of going to Worlds, I'm doing this meet because I like to compete in more competitive settings because it pushes me to go harder. I realized after doing my first nationals that competing on the national stage definitely pushed me to a new level, and so I continue to seek that challenge even though I might just end up having no meets to do the rest of the year.
Selfie.
The point is that it'll be open. Oh.
Like, this is a really strange design.
I've never seen this kind of design.
I'm gonna go get you some pellets if you want more food.
I'm definitely nervous but excited. I think this will be one of the biggest meets I've ever done, and this is my 10th year of competing. This was one of the most memorable things I've done so far this year. I've been wanting to go pet these alpacas for a really long time, so it was really cool that we got to fit in this weekend of activities before fully locking in for this prep. In the past month, other than training and working, I've just been focusing on recovery, so I'm hoping that we get good results. Thank you so much for watching and following along, and I'll talk to you next time.